Okay, this next movie is going to be about how if you don't feel that you get respect, you can demand it. Scream and shout and stamp your feet. That will work, surely. Right?
It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to win! It is our duty to win! We must love and support each other! We must love and support each other!
No! 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 I know what you're trying to do!
Just get one again.
No!
Just
I
get
don't
one.
even... No!
Just get one. What's you doing, biting it? Quit biting me. Oh shit, monsters!
Yeah, this is really behavior you want to see of students on a university. I see better behavior from kids.
Father God, in the name of Jesus, thank you for bringing us here today. Thank you for giving us a voice, Lord. Thank you for giving us the emotional capacity to be able to deal with this today, Lord. Lord, please open up their hearts and their minds, Lord. Please protect us, Lord, as we're walking up here, Lord. Lord, this is for you, Lord. This is for love, Lord. This is for equality, Lord.
I have to admit, it's fun to watch these hypocristians. I mean, it really is. Hebrews 13, verse 17. Maybe you should read the Bible. Have confidence in your leaders and submit to their authority, because they keep watch over you as those who must give an account. Do this so that their work be a joy, not a burden, for that would be of no benefit to you. Read your Bible, but then again, it's nice to show that you're praying, because then maybe people think you're actually humans or something. I don't know.
Hi, media. Can I talk to you?
No, you need to get out. You
Well-
need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
I actually don't.
All right. Hey, who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here. Help me get him out.
Yeah, unfortunately now everyone has a video camera on them if they have a phone or whatnot, so it's not really alleged. You can see her putting her hand on him, or at least on his camera, or his camera holding hand. And you can hear her saying, I need some muscle over here, which is clearly inciting violence. Now you could argue back and forth, and people will do that anyway, but yeah, I'm sorry. She broke the law.
Board members last July. Right, and it says potential credit rating.
We demand that the University of Missouri System President Tim Wolf writes a handwritten apology to the concerned student 1950 demonstrators and holds a press conference in the Mizzou Student Center reading the letter. In the letter and at the press conference, Tim Wolf must acknowledge his white male privilege, recognize that systems of oppression exist, and provide a verbal commitment to fulfilling concerned student 1950's demands.
Yeah, I mean, nothing shows that you're being oppressed like barging in on a meeting, disrupting that meeting, ignoring the hammer when they try you to silence, and just keep shouting and shouting and shouting whilst no one is stopping you. Oh my God, you are so oppressed. How can you live with that oppression? It must be brutal.
I'd like to share that there are people in the community of all colors who do care about justice for all of us. This university is likely to suffer greatly, not because people want it to, but because this system needs correcting. And until it gets correcting, it's diseased and it's going to continue its death.
You know, the thing is, I totally agree with you. Your university has a corrupt system and it needs correcting, or it will eventually destroy the university. Funny enough, though, I think you are siding with the concerned 1950 blah blah blah, but in reality, if you have a university where people can trample over protocol and they just show up in meetings and start screaming and demanding things, and then people cater to their whims, yeah, I'm sorry, there's only one way that can go. I mean, there's a reason why we punish our children. Punishing might be the wrong word, but we limit our children so that they know where they can and cannot move freely. And then when they show that they can deal with that, they learn to get more freedoms. We do not give freedom because they demand it. We give freedoms because they earn them. Is this the behavior you think earns freedom? Is this the behavior of people wanting to better the situation? What you're showing here is a group of entitled idiots, and you're catering to them. So yeah, you're right. This will eventually destroy the university. Maybe you need to do something.
Who stands with Melissa Click?
We stand with Melissa Click.
Who would like to tell them why we stand with Melissa Click? Do we have any volunteers?
I'm a volunteer.
Come on, step up. Let them know.
I'm a student at the university. I'm a junior. I love this university, and so does Melissa Click. But Melissa Click is something different about her than everybody else that I've met at this university for the most part. She's seen me as one full person, not a black girl, not a little ghetto girl, not 3/5 a person, but a person.
Yeah, I stand with Melissa Click. I stand with Melissa Click because she stood up for marginalized bodies on this campus, particularly students of color. While people were parading around this campus calling us niggers, and nobody was willing to listen, nobody was willing to do anything to dismantle systematic oppression so that these acts would not be tolerated on campus, she stood with us and she stood by us. She believed in us when nobody thought that we could do anything. So that's why I stand with Melissa Click.
I got one. I stand with Melissa Click because she was bold enough to stand with me. While all y'all were afraid, she was bold enough to fight for me.
Yes.
She didn't care about a paycheck.
Or a deadline.
I stand with Melissa Click because she's an ally, and we gave that to her. These people gave that to her. She didn't sit in a room and try and make policies when it really came down to it. She was there protecting people.
Yeah, if you're on her side of the fence, she protects you, but if you're on the other side of the fence, she needs some muscles over here, right? And hey, I don't want to be rude. I never understood why certain words in America are such a big deal. But apparently you have law enforcement. Have you tried talking to them? What a silly question of mine. Oh, why would I even bother to ask it? I mean, it didn't really happen, did it? It's just like the poo swastika and the guys in the pickup trucks, blah, 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 blah.
You need to get out. You need to get out.
She wasn't sharing something on Facebook. She wasn't saying something to the press for good press.
And I'm a communication faculty, and I really get that argument, but you need to go.
She put herself at risk for other people. That's why these people call her her ally.
Wow, you're actually talking for them as if you're part of them, but you're not really part of them. And I don't want to be rude, but Melissa Click forced people off of public grounds. People that had a right to be there, just as much as all of the other people that were there had a right to be there. And she tried to physically remove people. She is not someone in a position to do that. She does not have that right. And you're defending her. Wow.
I stand with Melissa Click because she treated us as human beings and not as a business. She treated us as students of this university.
She's the one that was on the campsite. And she the one that loved us, cared for us, protected us, and did all this stuff that none of y'all did. So.
Yeah, she respected you all right. She respected you enough to make you a human shield. On a situation where, well, she was wrong and therefore you guys were wrong. But keep defending her. That's good. And serious, dude, I don't want to be rude. You're on a university. None of y'all. I know in America they don't really speak the Queen's English. But none of y'all? Seriously.
I stand for her because she's the one that actually stood up for us and actually said something and actually did something. Put up them tents for us. Actually came there with stuff for us. Told us what we should do and what to progress this movement. So thank you, Miss Melissa Click, for doing what you did.
Yeah. Thank you, Melissa Click, for making me a foot soldier in your army. I can't for the life of me understand you. Are you really that dense? You're not advocating for anything other than mob rule. And you're the mob.
When reporters were being abusive and overstepping their boundaries, Melissa Click was there to protect us.
Melissa Click understands that liberation is not a paycheck or a deadline, that you have to respect a story to get a story, and she respected everyone's narrative.
Well, the few movies we have seen of the reporters being there, and most of them were student reporters, they were behaving admirable. I'm not sure if I could keep my cool as these guys did. And everyone has their story? No. You definitely made clear on that campus, on that grass field, that not everyone's story count. Your story is important. Fuck all the others. They have to go. They do not fit in. Well, very inclusive of you there.
Melissa Click actually understands the First Amendment.
Well, she's a professor. I'd fucking well expect her to understand the First Amendment, which made it so much worse for her breaking it.
When everybody else was colorblind or supposedly colorblind at this university, Melissa showed to us who she wanted to succeed in life, who she wanted to excel in life, and that was everybody, not just the black community, not just the marginalized community.
Yeah, just like all the other social justice warriors, she wants you to succeed as long as you believe in her narrative. And you do because it became your narrative. So yeah, of course she wants her narrative to succeed. You're part of it. But those other parts, those reporters, those students that tried to report what was going on, they didn't fit the narrative. So they had to go. See a problem in that one? No? Well, I guess I do.
So for the people in here that do see color, I'm sorry, because I know there is a few people in here, look at us like humans. We have morals just like I hope that you guys have morals. You would never want your children to go to a university and not feel inclusive or included, I'm sorry. How would you feel if you were somewhere and no one looks like you?
To begin with, if my kid would behave like you in the situation you are in now, I would probably tell him that university is not for him because he can't behave. And people not looking like me, well, the thing is, this is about whether we are unique or not. I see myself as a unique individual, and whether I am black or white means very little. I do not identify myself with other people of my ethnicity. Nor do I think anyone should identify with me, because we are all individual people. And I do see colors, obviously. I can see blue, and I can see red, and I can see green. But you're the racist here, because you're trying to make it about race. Well done. Well played.
Our very minimum people look like you. You have to stand for those people that don't have a voice. You have to do what's right. You should not...
Again, you have to stand for the people that do not have a voice. You mean those people that you took away their voice of? Those reporters coming to see what's going on, and you took away their voice, make it unable for them to talk about it? And we should look at that? Well, we did. This is what you're doing.
This university claims that they represent respect, responsibility, excellence, and discovery. But what I've seen is the opposite.
The lack of respect.
But what I do see is that Melissa Click represents all four of those pillars.
Yeah, no, I can really believe that you don't see a lot of respect around you. I mean, if you look to the left of your shoulder or the right of your shoulder, and the guy standing there or the girl standing there is showing absolutely no respect. Just like there was no showing of respect to the reporters, the student reporters on their own campus that tried to report it. There was absolutely no respect for them. And then you go into a meeting and you demand that you are allowed to speak. And even when the gavel hits, you keep on complaining and boning and bitching and oh fucking hell. I started this little movie, well, you started this little movie with you walking around campus shouting. Hell, I could fit in the words white power and it would actually make sense. Except for the fact that you guys aren't white, but okay, we can get around that. How are you guys showing respect to anyone?
When some of these people that are supposed to run this university don't. So you need to look at what you think that what you claim what this university represents and actually represent it. There are people in this room that did support us physically, and for the people that did not, you know who you are. But there are people in this room that were supportive of us.
Yeah, and I can really see that support melting away as you continue. But then again, the social justice warriors will stand behind you no matter what. Bloody entitled piece of shit.
I say! I say! I say! I say! I say! I say!
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
It is our duty to fight for our freedom!
Yeah. I'm sorry. This says it all. White power! White power! White power! It's our duty to flush the toilets! Honestly, guys, you are by far the worst thing that can happen to a campus. Now, if you are being oppressed and if there are problems and you have issues, then I hope people will listen to you. But if you behave like this, I hope no one listens to you. Oh my freaking God, this is what's wrong with universities in America. And unfortunately, it's spreading into the rest of the Western world. Thank you very much for that.
I ain't going. Hey! If I don't get my rights, I ain't going. Hey! If I don't get my rights, I ain't going. Hey! Hey! If I don't get my rights, I ain't going. Hey! Hey! If I don't get my rights, I ain't going. Hey! Hey! If I don't get my rights, I ain't going. Hey!
Okay, I think what they're saying or shouting or singing or whatever is if I ain't got my rights, I'm going. Or if I don't get my rights, I'm going. And it's a party for them. I mean, it's look, oh, hey. You know what? Go. Because you have your rights, but they're not enough. You want more rights. You're not privileged enough. You want more privilege. Seriously.
If I don't get my rights, I ain't going. If I don't get my rights, I ain't going. If I don't get my rights, I ain't going.
We ready!
Dedication!
We ready!
Liberation!
We ready!
Squad shit!
We ready!
Dedication!
We ready!
Liberation!
We ready!
Squad shit!
For ya! We ready!
Dedication!
We ready!
Liberation!
We ready!
Squad shit!
For ya! We ready!
Dedication!
We ready!
Liberation!
We ready!
Squad shit!
For ya!
Daily. No, we can't be quiet.
Power! 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 Power!
Yeah, the party train was going for a while, and then they had to have that black power thing again. I mean, white power, not done, but black power. Ah, I say power. I say shower. I don't give a fuck what you say. But seriously, you're showing respect to the other students that are walking there? Really? You are? This is how you show respect to people? Bloody hell.
Y'all ready? Yeah. I got it.
If we don't get it, shut it down! Hello?
Hey, don't engage, y'all.
Come on.
Yeah, don't engage. Why would you talk to people who try to find out what the fuck is going on? No, you're just there to throw your tantrums around. You don't want to talk to people. Whoa, what if they accidentally understand what you say? Or even worse, what if they have an argument that makes you look like a total twat? Yeah, I mean, this is entitlement. This is tantrum 101. This is what little kids do. I want a cookie. You won't get it. I want a cookie. I want a cookie. If I don't get a cookie, no one gets a cookie. I want a cookie. I want a cookie. If I don't get a cookie, it won't be silent. I want a cookie. I'm sorry, but this is tantrum throwing 101. The fact that Wolf resigned in itself is an affront. Because he resigned for fuck all. And why? Because kids like this throw a tantrum? Brr. Oh man, that sends a tingle down my spine, not in a good way.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to win! It is our duty to win! We must love and support each other! We must love and support each other!
I especially love that last bit. We must love and support each other. But it seems that the each others are all those within the group. Fuck those outside of the group, right? Groupthink 101. Nice performance.
We have nothing to lose but our chains! We have nothing to lose but our chains! It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to fight for our freedom! It is our duty to win!
Now, that looks a bit like a university cafeteria. I'm not 100% sure, obviously, but it looks a bit like a cafeteria. And I am feeling so sorry for all of the other people that are there. I mean, if I'm looking at this movie, I'm thinking for every protester, there's about 5 to 7 other people. And they have to endure it. And they do endure it. I'm not sure if I could have that restraint on myself. I mean, honestly.
It's our duty to win! We must love and support each other! We must love and support each other! We have nothing to lose! Say it! We have nothing to lose but our chains! Power! 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 Power!
Yeah, you should be proud of that. I'm not even going to say again that it's a kid's tantrum and blah 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 blah. I've said it all before, and I'm not quite sure why I left it all in. But I mean, look at the bystanders there. They're looking dazed and confused. They have absolutely no idea how to deal with this sort of stupidity.
We love this university! We love this university, which is why we are so critical of this university! White supremacy exists here, racism exists here, but we exist here as well. And we are not going to take it any longer. And if you like white supremacy, if you like racism, if you like all that, keep sitting. Keep sitting. And your children are going to be sitting through the same exact...
Yeah, because if people in a cafeteria who are drinking or eating or whatever, and they keep sitting, then they must be for white supremacy. In all fairness though, people like you make white supremacy seem like a good idea. Behavior like yours is what gives the right reason to stand up against you. And I sincerely hope that doesn't happen, because I do know that a lot of African Americans, because we're not supposed to call them blacks anymore, are decent human beings. They really are. But you lot? You're children. And you're destroying more than Martin Luther King could ever set straight. Well done.
No, I stand with Melissa Click.
Melissa Click.
I stand with Melissa Click.
I stand with Melissa Click.
I stand with the liberation of all marginalized groups.
Yes.
All marginalized groups. And that includes, the Asians, the Hispanics, the Blacks, the LGBTQ community. Say it. The intersectionalities of everyone. I stand with the white people too, if y'all standing with me.
I gotta love that last bit though. I stand with this, I stand with that. Yeah, I'll even stand with the white people as long as you stand with me. So yeah, I'm going to stick up for you as long as your viewpoint is mine. If not, entitlement much? Well, I'm going to use this last bit as they shout how it's their duty to flush the toilet and whatnot, to tell you my 2 cents. And I want to point out that it's too bad that this is a black group. There are hardly any non-coloreds in this group. But this is a social justice problem. You see this with these groups, the students. You see this with the protesters about to protest on male right activists, man right activists. You see this on all sorts of small issues, and it's painful to see what American universities are turning into. And as I said earlier, unfortunately this is something that is starting to happen outside of America as well, mostly in the Western world, which is a problem because this is the future we are creating for ourselves. This is the future we are allowing to happen. And yeah, this is not looking good for us, people. We really need to take back our world. And these kids they are part of our world. We need to educate them. We need to teach them. Just like we were taught, they need to be taught. We don't need to cuddle them. We have to stop cuddling them. Because cuddling breeds monsters. Obviously. Well, I've tried to show you what I can see, and I'm not sure if you agree with me or not. If you do, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Do I think there's an easy way to solve this problem? No, not really, because this is an education thing, and this is not a school education thing. This is a raising your children education thing. So this is where society needs to look at what they're doing. This is the danger of social justice warriors. This is the danger of groups that protest because Black Lives Matter and so many black people get killed by police, even though more white people get killed by the police, but nobody bats an eye. This is the problem of feminists telling the world how it's terrible that women get circumcised, but when it happens to men, no one bats an eye. This is inequality because the majority is being oppressed by the minorities because the majority tries to make it right. And that's the thing. There is no making it right. There is either egalitarianism, we're all the same, or one of the groups will oppress the other group in any way they can. And that's what's happening now. Are black people bad? No, bullshit. Most black people are just black people. Their skin color is black. It says nothing about their personalities. Just like Asian people are Asian, it says nothing about their personalities. Just like Italians are Italians, it says nothing about their personalities. But as long as we believe into this bullshit of gender politics, race politics, guys, I'm sorry, they're going to play us out. And we're going to fiddle along with them, and we're going to be played like fools, and in the end, a small group might actually win on this, but the majority of us will lose on this big time. Not just the whites, not just the blacks, not just the whatevers. This is a societal problem. This is a problem for all of us. Not for a majority of us, not for a minority of us. for society at large. Please don't give in to this sort of behavior.